Well, well. The House of Representatives today is voting on whether to reopen the government after the Senate cleared the hurdles to do that. After all this time, Democrats and Republicans got the job done. Of course, the Democrats threw the towel in. They're now down on their knees. I saw a meme about Chuck Schumer shining President Trump's shoes. That's quite accurate. Democrats were humiliated. They're reeling. They're angry. They're vicious. Look out, because they'll even be more violent in the near future. And of course, I've said it many, many times. Use your Second Amendment rights if you have to defend yourself, because they're whipping up this violence and hatred against conservatives, people of faith, and frankly, anyone who believes in the vision and creation of our founding fathers. The House will soon also vote whether to release the Epstein files of Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, no one believes that the guy killed himself. He obviously was killed. I believe, frankly, that the Clintons are behind it. They killed, it is believed, over 80 people during their administration. I believe they used the mafia to do that. It was a mafia hit in all likelihood on Jeffrey Epstein. The mafia is quite proficient at these kinds of things, particularly in a federal prison where they have operatives. Well, that being said, there is a lot being done today to discredit President Trump, that somehow he's involved with Epstein and the pedophilia and everything else. Whether President Trump knew about Epstein, everybody knew about Epstein. There was no secrets in Hollywood or in Washington, D.C. I remember a monologue by Ricky Gervais, the British comedian, a few years ago. I think it was back in 2020. That's a Freudian slip, to uh, mocking the Hollywood elite, that Epstein was their friend. Well, so what? Let all the information come out. They just swore in a new Democrat member of Congress. She's going to vote the petition to release the files out. The House will vote. Those files will be released, certainly. And there should not be any concern on President Trump's part, because even if he knew, frankly, it's no different than anyone else, and it's not too late to take care of the victims and those who have been severely harmed. Some of them have even committed suicide. This is a serious matter. There are many Jeffrey Epsteins in this world, both on a macro and a micro level, huge. There are people that are trying to address that, such as Representative Nancy Mace, who's the most courageous person in Congress. The level of sexual abuse towards women and towards children, not just in terms of pedophiles, but also in terms of what the LGBTQT community is trying to do to indoctrinate them into their lifestyle, to turn them into transsexuals and everything else. It's terrible that how these kids get preyed upon. And the Attorney General of South Carolina, where Nancy Mace is a congresswoman from Charleston, does nothing about it and covers it up. His name is Alan Wilson. We're dealing with that as well. And he's tried to harm Representative Mace recently with false allegations about what happened at the Charleston airport. So these are the kinds of things that you have to deal with. It's rough and tumble world. It's hardball that's out there. Uh, when you get into this line of work, as I have, you are a target. So are many others who put their foot forward, but there aren't that many people who will really stick their neck out in any major way. Judicial Watch, when I ran it, was such a group. Freedom Watch now does what Judicial Watch used to do, with hard-hitting cases, hard-hitting citizens' grand juries, where we actually bring criminal proceedings, where the government, if you want to call it that, won't step in. We are, in effect, the private Justice Department of the American people. We're complementary to the Trump Justice Department, which frankly is infested 95% with Democrat leftist lawyers. It's no wonder that Pam Bondi has to cover her flanks and has to fire many of them who turn ship and don't even make arguments that they're required to make on behalf of the Trump administration. And this is why you need a Freedom Watch. It's why you need a Larry Klayman. We are unafraid. We're also dealing with bar associations that are trying to eliminate conservative and Republican activist lawyers. They're run by socialists. They're run by communists. They're run by atheists. They're run by white-hating racists in many ways, particularly white males in particular. And this is a serious issue because they're held unaccountable. They claim they have immunity. They have no immunity to do whatever they want, no more than federal judges should have immunity. And we're working on that as well to get legislation to remove their immunity. So I just want to remind you as to why Freedom Watch is so important. Please go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We are your Justice Department. And remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.